Welcome to the beginning of every live stream where it takes me a few seconds to work out if things are actually working and I'm actually live. Although everything I'm seeing on my dashboard here indicates it's working. So thank you everyone who's watching this long after the fact, because I will release this on my second channel for anyone to watch. I'm going to do my 52 in shuffles of a deck of cards, a decision I already regret immensely. However, technically when I'm recording this, it is happening live, and I can see 2 people in the chat so far. So if you're watching this live, can you say hello in the chat? So I know this is working, it's going out into the world, and I'm not just sat here in my office talking to myself. But to be fair, a lot of my career is sitting by myself in a room talking to a camera. And so people are just agreeing it was a good time of the day for this live stream. So that's something. Henry says, hello, great audio and video. So I do apologize. I love doing things that are live, but I do get nervous about quality of frame rate. Everyone's saying hello, everyone's piling in, excellent. I think the frame rate's doing okay. If any of the quality drops, just let me know in the chat. So anyway, let's get into this. I can talk more. People in the comments, I'll be with you in a moment. I can talk more in a moment. I feel like I should not waste any time. So I've got a brand new deck of cards. So once again, I'm going to, I didn't really show this in the main video, but I'm kind of, each time I was breaking the seal, which is like a magician thing of, oh, because you totally can't just buy that sticker. A magician way of claiming that it's authentic. And actually, in the main video, my perfect bridge deal video, I went to great lengths. What's that? Joker, that can go. To do that kind of magic convincing thing where everything is one shot and you can see everything all the time. And that did upset my editor. Fantastic guy. See, the cards just went out of frame. They went out of frame. They're the same. You don't know. It's not a magic trick. My fantastic editor, Alex Ganbash, has an eye and emotions for detail and things that look nice. And I'm like, I'm sorry, there's way nicer ways to do this shot. But because I'm doing a fancy thing with cards, for magic purposes, you need to see them the whole time, no edits, nothing. Whereas this live stream, if I'm cheating this, it's going to take more effort than doing it legitimately. So I've got 2 cameras. So let's go. This is my overhead camera here. I can't get the contrast to lock. I'm super sorry. So let's just see how it looks. So there's the first. Oh, you can see those. That's fine. There's the first spread. Is that back to front for anyone else? Oh, I bet that's the YouTube. They've mirrored it. So I'm looking at a reflection. I've not noticed that before. I guess I often don't hold things up with writing on them. Anyway, hopefully they're the right way around for everyone watching. Standard deck. This is how it starts all the way through. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my series of 52 ins and outs. And you may have noticed I've got a clicker here. So this is to keep track. Yell at me in the comments if I ever forget to advance this after a shuffle. Because I know if I'm answering questions and doing other chit chat, I'm going to totally 100% going to forget to do that. So actually, let's check in on the chat. It's all very good. People saying it's the right way around for them. That's great. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Connor. And John for yes. So I think it's just my preview screen. YouTube don't trust me to be able to handle looking at it the correct way up. They do the mirroring one. So if I raise my right hand, yeah, exactly. I see the hand on the same direction go up. Whereas I've got my own preview screen over there, and it's true. I'm seeing exactly what you're seeing. If I raise my hand on this side, it goes up on the, you get there. That's a different video. Okay, so can we do picture-in-picture? 2 picture-in-picture options. This is the small one. Should we do small one? Or I got big one. Oh, wait, swap them. There we go. Let's do big. We'll do big, and if that proves annoying, let me know, and I'll switch to small. Okay, so let's start. And so a few people were asking, let's pop me over there. And then if I favor here, you can see what I'm doing while I'm talking. Okay, a lot of people ask me about the splitting it in half. And I can kind of cheat early on because I know halfway mark is between the kings. But if you're doing it in general, that's, for me, was one of the hardest parts of learning how to do all these Pharaoh shuffles was by eye and a shuffled deck, knowing I had it exactly in half. Oh, I didn't practice right before doing this live stream. So that didn't work. So can you see, look, oh, I fixed the focus. Ha, that's my own. Okay, we're coming up to this one. I'm out by just a smidgen, so you can see, you can't see. Wow, this is gripping. Okay, you can probably see there's a wee anomaly in there. I should have gone full screen. Sorry, I left it picture in picture. What I've done is I've misaligned two. And so what I'm going to do is back it up and then redo it. And I was talking to my friend Rob Easterway earlier today. We did a live show for teenagers. We do, they're called mass inspiration shows. Some of you may have come along. And we did one all about engineering. And so we had a bunch of our friends who were engineers talking about how they use maths in their work. And I was telling Rob about this because Rob is also very obsessed with these perfect bridge deals. And he was like, oh, well, how on earth are you going to do it accurately that many times in a row? Two things. Number one, if it doesn't work, I'm going to undo it and fix it. And number two, here, I'm off by one at the end. So what I'm going to do is just very subtly move that one up and over. So there we are. That's the first perfect in shuffle. So we'll celebrate by a cascade. Oh, does someone want a screen grab every one? So if I spread that one out, it'd be nice if we had like a record. So could someone log that for me while I log that one? We've done one. It's upside down. Goes up that way. Okay, so let's now put that there so you can see it. We've done one. Someone's got that. Questions coming in. Someone said, ooh, fancy setup. Yeah, sort of a fancy setup. Oh, by the way, I wonder if the middle, it should still be where the kings are, right? Or has that changed? Oh, you know what? I'm not going to try and second guess where the middle is by the cards. I'm now going to do it by eye. That's half, right? I will find out, though, when I do the riffle shuffle, if I got that right or not. Because if I get to the end and there's one card, well, actually, you're off by two because one's one few and one's one too many. If I get to the end and discover I'm off, then I will fix it. Oh, no, didn't line up. In a moment, we can have a conversation about how long we think this is going to take me. You know what's I'm kind of on a weird angle. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, I'm kind of straddling my other desk now. It's a suboptimal setup, to be entirely honest. So, oh, that's better. There we go. There's my riffle shuffle. So someone who said, ooh, fancy setup. So I didn't catch your name. Who are you? Connor. Connor again. Connor, you're getting involved. Yeah, so this is my live streaming setup. So I've not, again, that meshed apart from the very last one. So again, I'm going to cheat that. I say cheat that. I'm going to pop the last one. Oh, without undoing the rest of my hard work. That last one should be in there. That's just between me and all of you. So this is my live streaming stuff. I haven't done much live streaming. I've done a little bit of live streaming because a lot of my friends who are performers, obviously there's not a lot of performance work going on at the moment. And so a lot of people turn to live streaming. And thankfully, largely due to my fantastic Patreon supporters and some extra sponsored videos, I've been fine. During losing all my live work, I was able to make it up online, which is great. So I didn't feel the need to do extra streaming work, particularly given that other people had to do it. So I didn't want to be crowding that thing out. The only exception I made was stuff for, corporate gigs. So when I'm speaking at conferences, that kind of stuff, and stuff for students. So I kept doing my live shows for teenagers. And so the setup I've got at the moment is for that. And I'm still honing it. It could be better, but I'm basically just repurposing that setup. I can talk more about that later. Anyway, that's two. Has someone logged that? No one said. That's fine. Okay, we'll do the next one. That's two shuffles in. Wow, I probably need less chat, more shuffle as we go. Okay, that looks about right. Someone said, does it get easier as the cards get, what was the wording? Used more. Yes. So in Magic, a lot of the times you want to be using a brand new deck. And so a lot of people, I think I'm off by one. Yep, I'm off by one card. A lot of people will start with a new deck of cards like every single time. Whereas, here we go, because as they get worn, they get harder to manipulate. However, with a perfect barrow shuffle, that I find personally they're a little bit harder when they first come out of the deck, when they're like brand new, because they've been cut, they've been put in the deck, they got quite sharp edges. I find that difficult to do the riffle shuffle. I find a little bit worn is better. 3. Put that back in the shot. So I like them to be slightly worn. I find that makes it a lot easier for doing the riffle shuffle. So the fact that, actually, no, I'm going to swing this. What's that going to reveal? I wonder what I've got out of shot over here. Oh, just a pile of boxes. That's fine. And the door. That's, oh, there's my camera. That's the overhead camera. I'll come back a bit. Like, how's that? We'll do that. And then if I go over here, that's not bad. So 3. So if anyone watches my dog's YouTube channel, so my dog Skylab, or Sky the Labrador, I think that's right. I think there might be one too many in this hand, but we'll find out. So if anyone watches Sky the Labrador's channel, there's only 2 videos. The first video, it ends with her asleep in my office, which is where I am right now. Yep, I knew it, one too many. And she was asleep on the floor over there. So that's the kind of the wooden, so the whole room's carpeted, very old building, room's carpeted, but then over there, there's some of the original floorboards exposed. For some reason, Sky just loves sleeping on those. And so, you know, you bring a fancy bed in for her, all that jazz, and she will go and sleep on those floorboards. So there you are, little hidden thing in the background. Oops, come on. So actually the building I'm in dates from the 1600s. So incredibly old building, which I find cool. I mean, I'm Australian, and living in the UK, the novelty of buildings that are hundreds and hundreds of years old has not worn off. So the fact that my office was built in the 16-somethings, I find that just amazing. Pain when I wanted to get the internet connected. Wiring ain't straightforward, but amazing in every other sense. Okay, so there's the next one up. 4, flying by. You know what? Oh, that's the worst spread. That's barely in shot. I'm sorry. Hang on. Whoever's in charge of screen grabbing, I'm really sorry about that one. Let's try again. How's that? Is that better? Oh, I've gone right out the end over there. That's probably not helping for screen grabbing, though, is it? One more. I can hear other people leaving the office for the day. Yeah, so I have one room in this bigger building. I keep overshooting. My spread's too loose. Let's do a tighter spread. Like a good round of betting odds. A nice tight. Good enough. Screen grab that. Whoever's in charge. 4. Have I forgotten to click yet? Someone said 3 screenshots so far. If the cards are more to the center of the shot, the exposure is better. Should we go for smaller Matt? If I go from little Matt and I put me here, that buys me more space. Let's try that. Okay, here we go. Let's go for 5. That looks about right. Someone said, old things never get old. I mean, I can't argue with that. It's true to a sense. I guess if anything was going to break on a building, it would have broken in the first couple hundred years. Things do wear out though. Like there's some stuff you got to do to a building every century or 2. Too many on the bottom. Off by 1. A few things you got to do to a building every couple of centuries. Replace the lead on the roof, that kind of stuff. But a bunch of the insulation in the walls is like animal hair mixed into. I was going to say mud. It's not mud. It wasn't that long ago. Animal hair mixed into whatever they're using for wall packing at the time. Some of it's in some of the rooms downstairs. I'm on the first floor, UK speak. Second floor, American speak. So I'll try that in the middle. How's that? Is that better exposure? Hey, that is better. Good work. Good advice. Real two-way street, this live stream. Love what you're doing. Sorry, 5. I hope someone was about to tell me I hadn't done that. Yeah, that is better. More than one person can screen grab, by the way. What was I going to say? Yeah, so the building is super old. I first came across this building not long after, that feels like it should be there, not long after we moved to this town. So I'm in a very small village called Godalming in the United Kingdom. So my wife and I, we moved here. It would have been first time I got that right. We moved here early 2015. Yeah, we got married 14. We moved here 15, and we did a I'm out. We did a ghost tour of the town. Now I'm as atheist as they come and super skeptical and all that jazz. So I wasn't on it. It was billed largely as being a history ghost tour. I was like, I'm in with that. Interesting though, it was given by like someone from the local church did it. Conflict of interest? I don't know. So they did the tour, and this building is on the ghost tour. So my office is in a building that's on a ghost tour, which is pretty cool. And I don't know about this room. The room next to me, someone is definitely like a famous person in the 1700s died in that room. So in fact, in the Choose Your Own Adventure, that's going to be this live stream, Godalming history facts. I've got at least 3, maybe 4, is an available option for me to talk about. I feel like that's not enough. Let's split the queens. That's where that phrase comes from. Okay, here we go. You can kind of see what I'm doing, can't you, on the overhead? It's not perfect. Is that so pleasing? When that works, when you just push one into the other and it all lines up, it is a beautiful, beautiful moment. Okay, tight spread. That one's missing off the end. I mean, people did ask me if I was going to track where the cards should be. And I did write, I wrote a spreadsheet. You know what, you're going to get spreadsheet. Pretty clear for me, good. You know what, you're going to get spreadsheet chat, and then I'll go to the comments and take questions. So spreadsheet chat, I wrote a spreadsheet which, one more, which I reckon I'm off by 1. Let's preemptively do the 1. So the spreadsheet would do the shuffles. I wrote it to do ins and outs just by doing fancy references to the cells, which is lazy. This is when I was first kind of prototyping the idea for the video. I just wanted to mess around with it. I later wrote Python code that, I think that's right. Let me just check. If I get too nonchalant with the shuffles and I get one wrong, I'm not doing it again. So later on I wrote Python code, which is how I found all the various ins and out combinations that take a very long time. But the very first prototype was in a spreadsheet, which then proved handy because I could later use a lookup table. Because I did it with numbers, position 0 to position 51, and then each column was the next. You know, I'll bring it up later if you want to see it. Each column was the next shuffle along. And by pasting, I could paste an in or paste an out, just for some very early messing around to get a sense of it all. But then it came in handy, because when I was doing the graphics, there's a graphic that shows the circuit you get when you do an in shuffle. And to make the circuit, so I had 52 image files for each of the cards in the deck. And to make that circuit, still off by 1. I used a lookup table in my Excel spreadsheet. So I had the positions, the new position orders, and then I was able to use a lookup table to give me the names of the cards in the correct order. And then that's what I used to then, why is that off by 1? Oh, it's not splitting the last. Come on, split the last 2. Come on. The very last card, the last 2 are clumping at the top. There it goes. All right. That's why I'm not stage good enough to be able to do this as a legitimate magic trick. Okay, run these out. Here we go. How are we doing? And then I'll click. Interesting. They're in clumps of 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 5. And that's quite common. You will have got that. Oh, was that? Oh, 9. We should have paused for a moment when it goes out again. We should have paused for a moment when we got to 8, because we would be finished if I was doing this the sensible way, doing all, there you go. Good enough. Doing all outs, but I'm not. There you are. Oh, there's some chat going on there. Someone says off the screen. I hope I fixed it that time. There's a floor chat has broken out. Okay, well let's do floor chat if that's where we're at with our lives. So hang on, let me just split the deck. No, that's way off. I feel like that's right, but I feel like I should split the queens. Let's split the queens. Are those middle 2? No, they can't be. Ins, nothing cycles backwards and forwards. Everything gets thrown all over the place. I do love the fact that with outs, there's just those 2 5s that go backwards and forwards between themselves. I find that absolutely fascinating. Ugh. Oh, here we go. I hope everyone else has a deck of cards and they're shuffling along with me. There we go. Number 10. We're a fifth of the way through. What time is it? 20 minutes. 2 hours. That does involve me speeding up. No, that doesn't require me speeding up a little bit. Plus, yeah, I reckon maybe an hour and a half will be done. There you go. Again, my brain's going to start getting blur. My brain's going to start getting fuzzy. So if I forget to spread or I forget to click or most importantly, if I forget to shuffle, do yell in the comments. So what's the number chat? I love seeing negative floor numbers in England. Yeah, that is very cool. And people saying it's best to start with the attic being 0 and then count up as you go down. Love that. That is the best suggestion yet. Good stuff. Yeah, floor numbers, crazy. I mean, I love having the 0th floor. So in my book, Humble Pie, A Comedy of Maths Errors, UK, in America, where math goes wrong in the real world, I make a joke in there about G, about how no one knows what G means. It's like some archaic symbol for the ground floor. It's a joke because it's ground floor. Oh, I thought it was a joke. That is the most common email I get from people saying, I think you've made a mistake, or, oh, did you know the G stands for ground? Loads and loads of people have done it, which basically means that the joke was bad because you don't blame the audience, right? The audience is the audience. That ace is the last one. That's fine. 11. So if a joke doesn't land, it's not the audience's fault. It's whoever told the joke's fault. And so I feel bad. That joke clearly didn't land, or at least statistically has landed the least often, such that people feel the need to email me about it. And so that's a real shame. So sorry, everyone who was confused by that joke. My fault. I thought it was hilarious in my head to pretend I didn't know what the G stood for. But a lot of people have since corrected me. But I do love, in the UK, you'll get elevators with negative numbers, like the basement is -1 and so on, which I find deeply, deeply pleasing. I think I take a photograph of the buttons in the elevator lift more often than not when I'm in a lift that uses negative numbers. I just find it that, that pleasing. Someone's got that? If anyone wants to skip ahead, and know halfway through, they should be in the exact reverse order. So when we get exactly halfway through, we will know if I've made a mistake or I've made a number of mistakes that have cancelled out perfectly. That's not going to happen up until then. So at least halfway through, we'll know if it's worth soldiering. Not enough. It's weird. I always underestimate this hand or overestimate this hand when I'm doing the shuffles. Isn't that weird? I wonder what is in my brain that causes that to happen. There we go, another perfect shuffle. I can see why, if you practice this even more, you'd get faster and faster at doing that perfect riffle shuffle. So I can see why it is a legitimate magic technique. I mean, I have a lot of free time, and I throw at a lot of stupid things, but I have a kind of a policy where I just get good enough. If I'm better than 99% of the population, I'm happy a lot of the time. And so a lot of things like solving a Rubik's Cube, doing a perfect Faro shuffle, mental arithmetic, all these things, I learn, because it takes like 20% of the effort to get better than 99% of the population. And it's one too far the other way. And then the remaining 80% of the effort is getting better and better from there. So I do that first 20% to get better than most people. Well, that's too few on this side. What did I do? Which way did I go before? Am I off by one? Ugh, I can't even remember which way I swapped that card a second ago. Let's do this again. Can you see the riffle shuffles happening on the overhead camera? Like, is that a pleasing overhead shot, or are they lost in the contrast? I would be interested to know. Here we go. Yes, the spreads are getting a little better. 14. Anyway, my phone buzzed. while I was talking. So partly, I imagine someone I know is watching and is pestering me. Oh, no, it's comments on Patreon. Someone's seeing connection issues. Oh, no, it's working. Oh, it's not a local problem. Simon, are you with us now? Your Patreon notifications were buzzing in my pocket while I'm meant to be doing this live stream. So ironically, you were interrupting the live stream that you couldn't see. But I think you're with us now. I did click that. Someone's got the screenshot. Onto the next one. We're over a quarter of the way, everyone. That's exciting. How long has that taken me? Just under half an hour. Yep, so realistically, I reckon we will get this done in 2 hours. Here we go. Oh, I've not got enough. Classic. Simon, when you get here, say hi, by the way. Although, of course, it depends what kind of a person Simon is. There's a chance, because some people would just start watching from the live moment, and other people would want to start watching from the beginning so they didn't miss anything. So we'll see. I mean, I always catch up with where it is live, but I can see the argument for watching it from the beginning. But we'll see. So Simon, say hi when you get. Simon's here. Good. Connection issues resolved. That's the kind of personal service that you get. 15. If you're watching this from the very beginning, people saying it looks very satisfying. It is very satisfying. Was anything special supposed to happen because 13 is a quarter of 52? That's a good question, Henry. I don't know, because something significant definitely happens on 26. Can someone who was screen grabbing, or in the stream, can someone wind back? Someone wind back, and after 13, was there anything significant? And if there was, I mean, either come back and tell us that there wasn't, if there wasn't, and if there was, you can come and do a little report on what it was. I feel like I've definitely got too many at the top this time. No, perfect, look at that. Huh, there you go. When I first, I don't know why I agreed to this. I made that comment in the video during the, in the recording of, I hadn't really pre-planned it, and I was just like, yeah, you know what, I will do all 52 shuffles because it'd be fun. And what my kind of mental arithmetic at the time was, because when I learned to do this, I kept one pack of cards in my living room where the TV is. I kept one pack of cards in the dining space, because we got a kitchen kind of dining space at home, and another pack of cards up in my study. This is my studio / office I'm in at the moment. And then whenever I had time and I sat around, I would just start doing this and practicing. And a lot of the time, because my wife and I, Lucy, we take turns, sort of. They're all in cooking in the evening. Often we cook together. Depends how busy the other person is. Oh, wait, 17. And so I would often sit there and chat to Lucy while she was cooking, and I would be doing this when it was not my turn to cook. And I knew I would happily sit there, and I just practiced doing 8 outs in a row. And then I knew if I got back to the original, it was fine. And I just kind of tried to see how fast I could get at doing the 8 outs. And I knew while chatting to Lucy, I definitely cycled through twice. And I'm like, okay, so I've definitely done 16. I'm pretty sure I'd, on more than one occasion, done 3, that's all over the place, done 3 complete laps. So I'm like, well, that's halfway through doing it 52 times, right? So I knew just nonchalantly, without really thinking about it, I had done half pretty much of what I was proposing to do here. And I'm like, yeah, if I can do half without really thinking about it at home, I'm sure I can then do the whole thing live. And so that's why I agreed with myself to do it when I was there. Hey, it looks like the numbering is always mirrored. This again. Numbering on which? On this? Is that mirrored? Oh, someone's, oh no, you're looking, oh no, wait, sorry, I was going back to the previous conversation about my monitor being mirrored. This is the arrangement of the cards. So the numbering is mirrored. Oh, Frank's got to go. Frank, thanks for watching. Bye. No, the cards. Yeah, no, thanks. No, I realize it's not the picture we're talking about. It looks significant. It's about the suits, and the numbers are reversed. That's interesting. So there you go. It's worth rewinding. if people are watching this and you're curious, it's worth going back and looking at the 13. Tell you what, we'll stop at 39 and see. We should get the same thing, but the other way around, in theory. Okay, oops. Okay, we have a few decisions we can make, by the way, everyone. So at the moment, I've only put this URL up. Well, okay, the URL went in 2 places. It went out once on Patreon, and you know what, I'll go check in on the Patreon questions in a moment. It went out once on Patreon, and I had a copy and paste error. Where was it? Was it in my pinned comment, or was it in the description to the first video? I can't remember. Somewhere I accidentally pasted the YouTube link, not the Patreon link, and someone very kindly pointed that out. So briefly, the YouTube link was available to anyone looking closely. And if anyone's here because they saw it then, that's perfectly valid. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us. I feel bad whenever I am funding fence, like something behind a paywall. Got bills to pay, sadly. And people who put the effort in to support me, I like to give something back. And so that's why I do stuff like this. Look at that. The 9s are together at this end, and the 9s are together at that end. Who knew? On 19. Just a coincidence? I think not. Yeah, so we're maybe joined by those people. Our other option is we can always open this up to anyone who wants to come. We'll say anyone. We've got options. I could tweet the link. People would come and join us. I'm totally off on the middle point. Where is it? Miles away, Matthew. What are you doing? Sorry, everyone. That's about right. I could tweet the link, or I could, I think, Oliver's here. I think mid stream, I can switch this from being unlisted to being public, in which case subscribers of the second channel will show up. So if we want company, we've got options, that's what I'm trying to say. 20th, 20, here we go. We're still firmly in the first half. There we go. Boing. What's that now? 20 shuffles. Got that. Connor's excited to see if it's always pairs. Oh, I said hi to Oliver before. That's Oliver who made the back end and the database and stuff for Matt Parker's Maths Puzzles. Just imagine that appearing when I say it. And I was talking before, I was telling everyone about the Maths Inspiration shows and how I'm using my setup from that to do this live stream. Oliver does like an interactive website. So students, when they're watching, can log in, and then we ask them questions, and they can answer. And I can see comments and stuff that they put in. It's really good fun. It was our attempt to recreate the live show experience of being able to interact with the speakers and the host. And so Oliver coded up that fantastic website. And we're working on another top secret project for the next video, which will be out hopefully 21 next week. We'll see. Another video due this week, and then one next week. What else is happening in the chat here? Splitting at the jacks this time. Oh, we're in the middle bit where I split the deck. Yeah, good point. We'll see how often the middle bit is the same card twice. Matt, will you post your spreadsheet so we can see what is happening in the shuffles? Sure. Why? Yes. Tell you what, where are we up to now? Tell you what, if we can get to 26, I'll take a break and I'll share the spreadsheet then. And so you can check it out. And that'll be our celebration for getting halfway through. So I feel like the middle is about here. So I'm going to split the 3s this time and see if that's the dead center of the deck. Let's find out. At a minimum, I can drag the spreadsheet out and show everyone. Oh, it is. There you go. I was splitting the 3s. I was a little worried, given I learnt to do out shuffles. In would be a slightly different knack, but actually it's been pretty straightforward. There they all are. 22. I can have a drink of water. Me just chatting away here. It's always pairs in the middle. Look at the spread from left to right compared to right to left. Oh, it's symmetric. Is it always symmetric? No. No. Hang on. Okay. That's cool. That makes, I mean, does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense, but I couldn't. Yeah, look at that, right in the middle of the 8s. So I split on the 8s for that one. Huh. Well, that makes it a little easier to make sure I don't accidentally mess up the split. There we go. Oh, the secret website Oliver and I are working on for the next video, we will release early on Patreon, partly because we need people to stress test it. 3 reasons. Partly we need people to stress test it. Partly there's some low-hanging fruit, and I feel like that would be a nice unofficial reward for being my supporters. And partly we need volunteers to help out with the moderation once the website goes into full flight with the general public. People saying, yes, the last 5 or 6 have been. It's always symmetric because the original deck is symmetric. Yeah, but why does it preserve that? Yeah, I don't. Is it always symmetric without shuffles? I feel no, it can't be. Those unless there are 6 cycles, so maybe for every cycle this way, there's one that way. Interesting. How have I never come across that? All the times I've done this, I've never spotted it's always symmetric. Someone get a deck of cards, do some out shuffles for me. Let me know if it is indeed. So I split it there. I don't know, I'm off slightly because it should be between those 4s. Yeah, it looks about right. Oh, that is a great cheat. That's a real life hack. Someone put that on the life hack subreddit. It's just that useful. It's useful in anything else. There we go. Come on, in shuffle. There we go. Oh, honestly, it's worth learning. It's such a pleasing thing when we just learn that cascade thing. That's equally really good fun and very easy to learn, honestly. 24, there's 24. Yeah, people have checked it is symmetric every time. Oliver's saying, I was wondering why I scheduled this for today. Yeah, exactly that. So actually, I've done 3 things today with this exact same setup. So first of all, I did the live show for the Maths Inspiration Show for high school students. Secondly, I recorded the bonus feature. Is that the middle? No, I'm off by 1. This is going to speed this up dramatically. I recorded the bonus feature for the video, which is going out tomorrow. So no spoilers there. Again, I did it with this setup. I did it, we would say in the business, as live. So I did it pretending it was a live stream. Actually, it's kind of, for those of you who watch some of the Matt Parker's Maths, oh, look how pleasing that is. Watch some of the Matt Parker's Maths puzzles, because we're one off halfway. That's why. Aside from giving people puzzles to do and encouraging people to do mathematics, and it was fun and engaging and all these things. One of the other reasons why I really enjoyed about it was I experimented with loads of low production value or more efficient ways of making video content. And I was hoping what things I learned from doing that would bleed into the main channel and sort of bleed into other videos. And so one of the things I messed around with was doing videos kind of as live through my Vision Mixer. And so mixing in the slides, like the picture-in-picture and all that jazz, which I'm doing now, actually. This, what you're watching right now is slightly born out of Matt Parker's Maths Puzzles. The idea that I could do dirtier videos quickly, I found very pleasing. And I was looking forward to bringing that in. And so when I did the bonus content for my next video, spoiler, some of it, I think, oh no, I framed it out. There were spoilers in the background before I moved the camera. Being able to do it as live is one of the things that I brought over from that. Okay, so you can see here, I've messed up. So, oops, you know, let me push it in a little more. All the way along here, that's perfect. Card. Then right at the end, those 2 have clumped, and this one should be there. So we'll just fix that up. Okay. Are you ready for 26? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so pleasing. Ooh, oh, and they're almost in shot. There we are. Screen grab now. Okay, there we go. 26. Oh, screen grab now. Now it's got the correct number. There we are. We should all pause. We should have a group photo. Everyone who's here. Oh, look at that. Okay, you know what? I promised. So they're still there. They're just over there. You know what? I can keep them on slightly if you want to. I'm not going to change them. You know what they look like. Okay, so let's find my spoiler. Let's find that spreadsheet. What did I call it? Is it in recents? Rotating the cards. No. Oh, in-out results or in-out tests? I think it's tests. I think results was me. Oh, it is. Here it is. Results was me spitting out the stuff from Python and then just visualizing it quickly in Excel. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a let's do a split screen, shall we? Okay, so there's me. Right, here comes the spreadsheet. There's my spreadsheet. Okay, so here it is. And what I've done, I need to look at it the right way up, is, oh, you know what? I think I'm just going to you know what? I'm going to full screen it and then loom through it. So let's get rid of that. That was me being too clever for my own good. There we go. And now, hey, here I am behind the spreadsheet. My favorite place to be. So yeah, here I've just each one, the references to this just point at the other one. And what have I got at the bottom there? Oh, I'm struggling to read. They're the in shuffles, out shuffles. So I think this one's in, out, in, out, in, out. And then here I've got ins, here I've got outs. And there was this my lookup. Yeah, that was my lookup. So I could, this picture me again. So I could make the cycle work. So there you go. Let me bring that. You know what? I'm going to, my little like fold monitor for this. I've just got a new fold monitor. I just realized the downsides. I can't really read spreadsheets like that. And they're flipped. Oh, yes. So actually, I should say this was me working out. Actually, I can probably find the keynote. Oh, where's that going to be? Have I copied that off? Oh, give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Perfect bridge deal. Is it card animation? Yeah, it might be. Yeah, here it is. So this was me. I'll slide this out so you can see it. Here we go. This was me doing the animations. It's all in Keynote. And so you can see here, there's all the cards spread out and then put in their correct order. And this was the fancy, everything comes down, everything goes off the screen transition. And so when I went from this one, that's them in order, 52 different files, then they rearrange here. I used that spreadsheet to work out the order that they needed to be in for that. And so you can see in the spreadsheet, I've actually marked the different points. So when all the way over to the right and the bottom, like with the points where it starts at the top, all the way across, all the way at the bottom, and then loop back over to the starting one there. So that was me messing around with that. So if people want to copy this spreadsheet, I'll tell you what, let me, I'm going to save as, I'll put it in Dropbox. Where's a good folder? There we go. I'm going to call it in, out, sheet. There we go. And then, let me get the link. Here we go. Copy your Dropbox. Oh, where's it gone? Does it not say? Oh, I paused my. I got to tell it to resume syncing. Tell you what, while we're doing that, let's get back to. We haven't got time for this level of having fun when we've got shuffles to execute. Pow. Back to shuffle. Oh, back to. Oh, it's up. Shuffle cam. Oh, it's updated. Okay, hang on. Let me get the link while I'm over here. Your Dropbox link. Oh. No, I'm gonna have to do it on this. I'm running more than one machine. Oh my goodness. Aren't you glad this is live? Get to enjoy all of this as it happens. As I realize that I can't paste it into the live stream because it's on a different computer. Copy Dropbox link. Done. Put it in the chat. Done. Right. Someone check that. Make sure it works. Oliver can do the waterfall at least. Good job. Any tips for learning this? No, that is a new question. So you know what? I will answer that next. Let's get back to shuffling. So we know the first one, we're going to split the kings. Yeah, I should just cheat. There we are. Kings, split. Does that count? If people think me just looking for the double card in the middle is cheating, now is your chance to say so. And I guess does every card appear there? Every pair must appear twice, but each way around, right? I feel like that's right. I'm going to go with that's right until I hear otherwise. Any tips for learning? Yeah. Oh, what has that done? Oh, it's just merged the colors, same as doing the first out. Oh, I hope I didn't in. Please tell me I didn't do an out by accident. It's being clever. Link works fine. Okay, there you go. It's being clever. Oh, that's a vote for my decision to just look for that middle card. But I feel like I want to learn to get better. Oh, I think I had it that time. Yeah, I did. Ha! You know, I'm going to use that as validation. I'm still going to try and do it properly, and then I'm just going to validate it by checking I'm on the double. Because I want to learn to be able to do, what I'd really like to be able to do is do it with a proper shuffled deck. Because there are some cool tricks you can do with this. So actually, I'll talk more about, I know I keep flagging up things I'm going to talk about. Can someone be in charge of minutes and just keep a note of anything I promise I'm going to talk about and then I don't? 28s. There you go. Learning. Right. So I learned both bits at the same time in terms of splitting the deck and let's just check that one. Yes, nailed it. Go this guy. I did both at once. I figured just repetition is the best way to learn things. Practice makes permanent, as they say. So I learned to do, why is that off? Have I got too many in? I split the wrong pair. No, there's double pairs. Double pairs. I should have been on the lookout. So there were 4 7s in the middle, not just 2. So I was getting all high and mighty. I got it right. Got it wrong. Oops. Yeah, so I figured I'd do it over and over and over again. That will help me learn it. So I did the splitting the deck at the same time as learning how to do the spread. But it's just a repetition. So what you want to do is, first of all, learn to split the deck. That was nowhere near evenly. I think it's the middle of the 10s. How's that look? Yeah, about right. Then what you do is you get them flat. I get the top deck and it's slightly tapered so that you can see there's a slight, it's not like a square end, there's slightly tapered end. And even like size on the other one makes it easier. And then you line the first card up and then it's just a lot of practice. Once you get it there, it's just practice knowing the angle, because they're not dead on. I do them at a very slight angle. It's the angle and the pressure, and if you get those right, it just propagates all the way along. Oh, honestly, I can't tell you. It's just such a nice sensation when that works. And they do. They push their way through, and they perfectly interleave 30, and you end up with that perfect riffle shuffle. I thought it was going to take me a lot longer to learn than it ended up taking me to learn. So there you go, 30. Someone get that. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I had the open question in my video where I said, what's the most efficient way to get from any position to any other position? Because I knew, and I didn't put it in the video explicitly. I mentioned it in passing at the end. I didn't put in a bunch about the binary taking the top card to any position because I think that's fairly well covered in other maths videos online. And so again, I know I keep saying that I say this in the bonus feature for tomorrow's video, and I'll say it again now. I feel like I just said it. I don't like, that was a terrible, I decided to push that time. I don't like making a video where all I'm doing is regurgitating things that already exist. And there's a whole genre, and there's nothing wrong with this genre, of videos online which are just memorizing Wikipedia and then reading it back to YouTube. Anyway, 31. And there are some great videos in that genre, but I personally find that a little unsatisfying. And so every video I want to bring or do something myself. I bring that to the table. And so I felt like looking at the very long ins and outs and the different combinations which get you back to the perfect bridge deal setup was kind of my contribution. And so I felt like I shouldn't just go over the same, you can use binary to move the top card to any position, because there are other perfectly good videos on YouTube that already cover that. But at the very end, day 2, I did have the open question of, any card to any position. And two amazing things happen. Number one, people cracked it very quickly. People either coded it and did it in a semi-exhaustive fashion, or they did the graph theory. They did the network of all the ways you go through it, and then they used very cool algorithms to find shortest paths in networks, which is very, very cool. And so within 24 hours, I had a number of independent solutions people have sent in, and showed the worst case scenario was 6. So 6 ins and outs. You can take any, or fewer. You can take, why isn't that meshing? You can take, the other thing you get good at is kind of reversing up. Like if the mesh goes wrong, there we go. You just kind of rewind back up to the last time it was perfect and then carry on. I got pretty good at doing that. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So 6 or fewer moves. You can get any card to any position. And we solved that in under 24 hours. And 33, people told me that it had already been solved. Of course, Percy Diaconis and Ron Graham, titans of the mathematical world, had solved the problem about 10 years. I think it was like about 2007. I'll have to check the paper. It was early in the 2000s at some point. They already solved that problem. However, it was originally posed, I think, over 50 years, about 50 years earlier. So the first person, the person who developed, I forgot their name, the person who developed the top card to any position using ins and outs, like the theory behind it, posed the same question I did. It's a good, obvious question, it turns out. Can you get any card to any position? And it took half a century before that was solved. I posed, with no idea that it had already been solved, I posed the same question for the same reason, but because we've got computers now, instead of it taking half a century to be solved, less than a day, several people had solved it independently. So there you go. I think it's amazing that how much faster we can do some types of mathematics now. I didn't have to wait 50 years for that problem to be solved. I could pose it and it was solved the same day, more than once. Amazing. I feel like that might make an interesting follow-up video. And some people have sent me some other interesting things about ins and outs. Apparently interesting things happen if you have a deck of 51 cards. And I've not messed around with that yet. It's on my list. It was actually the person who sent that. I can't remember if that was Patreon or that was somewhere else. If the person who sent that is here, I will, 35, get a screenshot. I will look into that at some point. And I think I might make another follow-on video. But my list of videos I want to make is longer than any one human can possibly make. I got the split right that time. Someone says, we'll have to find my number file cards and have a go. We'll have to discard the mats. Yeah, Brady thought he was so funny when he put me on the Joker in the number file deck. Actually, I got some number file decks. You know what? In a moment, tell you what, at 39, I'll see if I can find one of my number file decks and I'll report back on how good the cards are for manipulation stuff. So the cards I'm using are bicycle cards, and this drives my wife nuts because they're used all the time, 36, in TV shows and movies. They're just like the standard cards used in media, and you can recognize the back. I tend to use blue ones. I used a pack of red as well in the main video. Love them. Magicians love these as well. You get loads of different versions, and they're really nice for manipulation, just like the type and quality of the card and the finish and the way it's cut, and lovely. And so 36, that is very ordered. It's not 39, huh? Yeah, so anyway, these cards are great for doing magic stuff, and which unsurprisingly means they're great for doing these perfect shuffles. I don't know what quality cards Brady got when he got the number 5 cards made. So I'll tell you what, at 39, I'll see if I can find a deck and I'll report back if it's worth doing. Someone says, hey, they're good cards. They move so smooth. You're talking about number file cards or these? Bicycle cards. Great for gaffing. Gaffing. What's that mean? Simon, you got to tell me what gaffing means. Is it like rigging? Gaffing. Or is it, oh, that's where you put them between the spokes on your bike and it sounds like a motorbike. Ah, I knew it. There you are. 37. Alternating. Lovely. What's our middles? Middle 7s. Still waiting for a definition of gaffing. I mean, I've got gaffer tape. I mean, that's off by 1. The old off by 1 hour. Okay, everyone, we are too short of stopping to marvel at 3/4 of the way through. Back it up, back it up. Oh, no, back it up. Here we go. Yes. I can hear people walk past my office occasionally, and they must just think I'm in here talking to myself. Come on, get in there. There we go. That's it. Lovely. No more comments on gaffing. Question from my flatmate. Are they watching for free? Honestly. I provide a pay-only Patreon early viewing. People just letting anyone in the same room. It's fine. 38. I'll move that over for the screen grab. There you go. You're right. Being in the middle, it does prioritize that. I did download the software for my webcam, which I used to have, and I must have lost it at some point updating my laptop. And you can manually adjust the focus. So I managed to lock the focus, but for the life of me, I could not find a way to lock the exposure. To answer your flatmate's question, it's way harder to do other splits. So the reason 52 into 2 halves, is that what the question is? Just these split number of cards other than 50. Oh, it's a split a number of cards. Sorry, I was thinking split them in different amounts. I was going to say, no, exactly in half is easy because you're just eyeballing them to compare their relative sizes to see if one's bigger than the other. And actually what I could do is spend a bit longer, I think that's right, comparing the two. I feel like I did one wrong. We'll find out on 39. I feel like for some reason, I've got a sense I didn't out. Okay, here comes 39. 39. Is that what we were expecting, everyone? Or did I mess it up? That doesn't look special. Has that gone wrong? Oh, I think I forgot to click. Oh, no. Huh. Oh, I feel like I did an out by accident. Oh, no. Oh, I don't know how to check that. Yeah, I had a vague memory of the topmost card, like the back topmost card going in rather than going out. Oh. Well, let's find out if the middle, I mean, not that this is, so I think I've either forgotten to click or I have done one the wrong way around. Okay, let's split this in half. Oh, the 8s are still in the middle. Huh. By my count, this is 40. So do we think I'm about to do 40? Tell you what, to avoid ambiguity, let me finish that one. There's that one. Oh, I'll be really annoyed. At least, we got halfway together, and I know I haven't got the number 4 cards out yet. I'll do it in a moment. I mean, it's still symmetric, but that doesn't rule out me having accidentally done an out instead of an in. Oh well, let's carry on. We'll carry on. Something will happen, and it'll either be 50 or 51 on this, and it will either be back where it started, or it will be slightly different because I did one out. And whatever the case, we're going to call it a day and all move on with our lives. I think those kings in the middle. There we go. There we go. So, yeah, I was amazed I didn't have the software for this camera anymore because I don't update my software on my laptop if I've still got a show on the go. So I actually update my software very rarely, like the operating system, very rarely. And then I do a massive, like, total clean reinstall whenever I put a show to rest. So when I'm like, I'm never doing that live show again, I'll put it to rest. And part of that is because I do so many ridiculous custom bits of code and script and things I've installed for a show. Like my Humble Pie show, loads of weird stuff happening on my laptop. I was meant to have filmed the DVD, like the video, like the stand-up special of that. Oh, goodness. Would have been early 2020. That didn't happen. the DVD filming has now been delayed by 2 years. I'm going to film it early 2022, but it means I'm so scared I have not updated my laptop. And I won't between now and then, hopefully, because I know all the ridiculous stuff I've got installed. If anyone's seen that show, it is... Oh, actually, you know what? Oh, wait, where's the middle? Let me get the middle first. I just remembered something else, which is kind of fun. No, it's about... there, tens. This clicker is from that show. So if anyone has seen Humble Pie, you may have noticed this clicker, it's got a 3 on the side of it. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can just see that, right? Because this is the 3rd clicker in the show. If you've seen Humble Pie, this is the clicker I use, the number clicker, to keep track of how many number clickers are in the show. Because that's the kind of thing I think is hilarious. So if you do see the show, you know there's going to be a minimum of 3 clickers, and the 3rd one is just counting how many other ones there are, including itself. It counts the clicker. Who will click the clickers? I do, but it counts itself in the thing. Yes, 37 to 38 was an out. Thank you, Marek. That's so annoying. Yeah, so we did go wrong. So what's our consensus? Thank you, Marek, on hunting that down. I really appreciate that. What's our consensus on what we do to fix it? You can't go backwards. Like an inverse is impossible. Well, not impossible. You got to do it manually. I could totally reset the deck to be 37. We could use that spreadsheet. Someone says, see Simon's comment. Oh, and gaffing is where you rig a card. Would 2 ins fix it? No, sadly not. Good suggestion, Catherine. I've not found any easy way to undo it. What I'm curious about is when we get to the end, if we ignore that one and still do 52 ins plus an out in the middle, will it be the same as doing 1 out? Because then I can just do 7 outs, and that's my out. Do 7 outs, yeah. So, Catherine, yeah, we'll do Catherine's idea. Instead of 2 ins, it'll be 7 outs. Can we have them in any order though? I don't think you can just, let's find out. You know what, we're gonna get to 52 and we're gonna deal with the problem then. That's my solution. So sorry everyone who's been watching this the whole way through. Oh, I knew it. So weird, my brain, it was when I did the next one, something in my brain just said, this one is different to the previous one. Except my brain didn't do that the time before, when it would have been useful to know that I was doing it differently. It was when I went back to doing it correctly that my brain told me, useless brain. That's probably my brain's protest at being forced to learn to do stuff like this all the time. There we go. Otherwise, we don't get to eat. There you go. That's 43 on our new controversial trajectory. People like this plan. Yeah, done. So people think the counter is still correct. Okay, the counter is correct, other than the off by 1 now because of that in. But so this is the correct number of shuffles, but it's 1 off the number of in shuffles because we had that rogue out partway through. Okay, fine. Where's the middle? I think there's those 2s. So we'll do another 9, and then we'll evaluate where we're at. Has someone verified that the number file cards are good for doing tricks with, or do I still need to do that? I don't want to leave anything on the agenda when we get to the end. Can someone, if you've got number file cards and you can verify that, let me know. Otherwise, I will grab mine and confirm it. Oh, come on. Oh, that's all. No. Okay, the last 2 didn't quite sit properly. And annoyingly, I accidentally undid the whole deck. See, now the cards are getting a bit more worn. I think they're just past the good stage. It's amazing how fast cards wear. Oh, if you watch, what's the name of the documentary? There's a really nice card manipulation documentary on Netflix. I've forgotten the person's name who's in it as well. That's embarrassing. Go on to Netflix if you've got it, and there's a wonderful documentary about someone who was obsessed with card manipulation, and they've got this incredible, like, I forget how many packs a day habit of playing cards. I think they're sponsored by a manufacturer. 44. So they can use several new decks during the day, because they honestly, if you're doing really specific stuff, they do just wear that fast. Have we lost our doubles in the middle? Oh, that would be quite the moment. No, there they are. This is the jacks. It's okay. False alarm, everyone. Okay. Oh, I should, before we finish, I should just check the Patreon post. I know I've done a lot of just blah, blah, blahing. People may have had legitimate questions they wanted me to answer. I think there were one or two. I'll go grab that. No, oh, no, come on, off by one. So I'm reversing up, and then I'm fixing that off by one. There it goes. What's that? 45. 45. Oh, yes, and to close the previous conversation, actually, people have found the ins and outs required to go from any position to any other position. I'm tempted to learn. I've not looked if there's an easy way. Did I click that? Can someone in the chat tell me if I clicked it this time? My brain is getting a bit blurry. How long have we been on for? Just over an hour. I feel like I didn't click it. I'm going to click it. I'm going to click that. And someone's going to tell me if I've clicked one too many, and then I won't click it next time. Someone authoritatively tell me in the comments in a moment. Oh, goodness, it is becoming a blur. Sensations I'm very familiar with my doing ridiculous things over and over. Projects from throughout the ages. I've still got the coin flip data. I've flipped a coin 10,000 times. And it's in my book. And I always thought it'd make a nice video, but I wanted to analyze the data and compare it to this paper that was published ages ago. You click one too many, thanks. And I've just never had a chance to do it. So if anyone wants to analyze some data and compare it to a research paper from the 90s, let me know and I'll send you the links. Send me an email, matt@stanlettmaths.com, and say, I want the coin data. So I've already clicked once too many, so I'm not going to click now. Yep, several people are confirmed. I'm too far ahead. Thanks. So there we are. Now we're properly on. That's properly 46 now. Queens in the middle, everyone. Queens in the middle. It's the old queens in the middle situation, which I think is there. I can see. I don't think I can do that without seeing the cards. Look at, oh, I was about to brag that one worked so well, but I had to back it up. There it goes. Okay, 47. Not as monotonous as, well, I'm speaking on my, I can't speak on behalf of anyone watching, but it's not been as monotonous for me as I expected doing all these shuffles. 47. Still looks like a cool pattern. 47. 1, 2, 4. 10s. There they are. Ooh, look at that go. I think actually I'd take it back. The cards are at just the right level of wear. There's some interesting stuff around when the cards are printed. They're obviously like die cut. They're like all printed on one big sheet and then die cut out. They used to do that face down and then stamped cut out. And then at one point they changed to face up, but it changed the geometry of the cards, like the direction you cut. You have a sharp and a blunt, I forget the technical names, sides of the cards, and that changes things like these Pharaoh shuffles I'm doing. And so I believe they then switch back to doing face down die cutting, which I think is fascinating stuff. I mean, not worthy of a video, but I think it's interesting. Okay, I tell you what, let me do one more, and then we'll take questions from Patreon. So anyone who wasn't able to watch this live, I'm not ignoring the questions they chipped in. Here we go. Oh, look at that. I say look at that. It's literally why you're here to look at me do this. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to spread out 49, which is only 48 ins, as we are well aware. And I'm just going to bring up my Patreon site over here. How are we doing? Let's bring up the questions. Oh, someone commented that they had a friend who learnt when they were at university as a grad student, and they had Percy Diaconus as their lecturer. That's incredible. Absolutely amazing. Someone saying, am I keeping an eye out for what card it should be each time I split? No. Someone thought I was doing a Matt Parker's Mass Puzzles. Not far off, I must say. It did have that kind of feel when I was giving that challenge at the end, didn't it? People agreeing the date worked fine. I did change the thumbnail. I hear a question. What's the best type of public transport, and why do you think things on rails are often so much sexier than things on tires? I don't. That's a good question. What's the best type of public transport, and why are things on rails better, or at least sexier, than things on tires? Any suggestions? Chuck them in the comment. Was a separate chat going on? Oh, okay. Questions about Matt Parker's Mass Puzzles in a book. I'll get to that in a moment. The best public transport. I mean, it's hard to beat trains. I love planes. I'm going to say planes. I know there's some environmental issues around planes, but planes, yeah, planes. Planes are the best form of public transport. I love trains, don't get me wrong. But planes, what's incredible, what I think is absolutely amazing about air flight is every time I go on a flight, I want a window seat, always a window seat. And I look out the window. I love staring out the window of the plane. And what I find particularly incredible about it is that the view I'm looking, I imagine 100 years ago or 200 years ago, what would people have paid to get that high up and look over the earth? Like, it's just unimaginable. When OS maps first came out, they were hugely expensive because it gave people the sensation of flying, like looking down over the landscape. And that was just buying a map, right? So for most of human history, getting a literal bird's eye view, well, plane's eye view, of the ground has just been unfathomable. And when it was first available a century ago, it would have been just prohibitively expensive to do. Whereas now, it's super cheap. You can fly very, very affordably, and you can go to all sorts of crazy places, and you can look out the window and look down. And I compare it to space flight now. Like, if you want to do space tourism, very expensive. And I reckon, give it a century, there'll be the EasyJet equivalent of going into space, and people will be nonchalant about it. But right now, what I would pay to go into space, amazing. And I've entered that Dear Moon, Usaka's thing. I would love to go. But I would feel hypocritical, be chomping at the bit to really, really, really want to go to space and experience that when I'm already, every time I fly somewhere, experiencing the equivalent of that for people a century ago. And just because it's now available to pretty much everyone, and just because, I know not everyone, I appreciate what a privileged statement that is. It's so widely available, and it's become so mundane for a lot of us, that doesn't make it any less incredible. And so that's why I love flying. Window seat every time. You got to have the window seat. I hear you. I also saw some chat. This is the 52nd shuffle, by the way, everyone, but only the 51st in. I'll just answer one other question. This is the people who've been here right until the end. I did stop Matt Parker's Mass Puzzles. I just didn't have enough time to keep going with it, which is a shame. It was good fun, but it was time consuming. And so it felt like a natural time to stop it. Yes, I am writing another book. So I am working on another book at the moment, and I am behind. I'm behind schedule on that, and I haven't told my editor yet. So actually, if my editor is watching this, surprise. Yeah, it's all about trick. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. It's not been publicly announced yet. It's about trigonometry. It's called Love Triangle, which I think is hilarious. I've since found out someone else has already made James Acaster. Every triangle is a love triangle if you love triangles. I was like, nah, I've already named my book that. But, convergent jokes, eh? So don't tell anyone. This is not for public dissemination, even though I will make this video available afterwards. 52 shuffles. And we are not back where we started. So I'm going to do the missing in. So let's do the missing in. So that's 51 ins and 1 out. Well, there's my midpoint. This is now the missing in to make us up to 52 ins, which in theory is all we needed. Oh my God, my hands are shaking from the excitement. Now the cards, because they're getting a bit worn, they're a bit easier to do the ins and outs, but what they do is they separate. And to do the kind of pushing them together, they've got to remain like a tight clump. So the problem now with them getting worn is they start to, if they're a bit bent, they start to spring up a little, and that makes it a bit harder to do. There we go. Oh, no. There, oh, no. Oh, no. There it is. Okay. 52 ins, including 1 unfortunate out. And here it is. There it is. Now I would like the record to state I have fulfilled the requirements of my promise. In a live stream, I have done 52 in shuffles. I don't know, I don't think I excluded doing any miscellaneous outs in between, but I've done the 51 promised ins. I am very, no, so I've seen the cards after doing 7 outs, and they don't look like, after doing, because in theory, this would be what it would look like after a single out, if 7 outs was able to correct it. And this is not what it looks like after an out. So there you go. They're not commutative. There you are. That's fine. 52 perfect shuffles in a row. In a row? They're in a row. They're in a row. There are 1 interloper in the row with them, but the 52 were in there. Where can I post the link of my 52 screenshots? YouTube chat seems to hide it. Oh, that's annoying. Simon, email it to me. If you email me a link to the screenshots to matt@standupmaths.com, it'll pop up right now. Actually, I have my email. And I will then drop that straight into the chat. Let's get to, there's me again. Actually, you know what I can do? Where's my top wipe? No. I don't think I've got a way to go through all the stupid wipe. That's not bad. I kind of want that, but without the feathering. Should we live with? No, let's find it without the feathering. That make me sad otherwise. Come on. I've got to get a better mix. Ah, there it is. So now I can put that at there. Look at that. And now what I'm going to do is do the final spread from there straight out. There we are. Final run. Put that on the end. There you go. And now I can probably just angle that over. There's me. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. There you are, 52 in a row with a bonus one. There you are. That's like 2% for free, give or take. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to wait for Simon's link to come through, and I'll just do a final response to anyone in the chat. If anyone can find the mistake, there's all the photos. Maybe the 7 outs have to happen after the first out. Yeah, they do. Yeah. You can't. They don't commute. You can't just swap them around. It was 52 perfect shuffles. One was just the wrong type of perfect shuffle. I will do that. So anyway, hey, I gave it a go. So thanks for joining in, asking questions, getting involved, taking my screenshots. I will mail sent. Excellent. I will put that link in the chat now. There it is. Someone else has emailed me about. Oh, they made their own spreadsheet. Oh, there you are. I'm related to live stream. So someone else emailed me about shuffles, and they sent me a spreadsheet. I get a lot of emails, and a decent percentage of them have spreadsheets attached. Copy link. Let's chuck it in over here. No one tell Brady. Yeah, that's just my policy on a lot of things in life, to be honest. Okay, there we go. Of course, I was close, but not quite. The important thing is I gave it a go. So there you are. Thank you all very much, people watching this live, for your support on Patreon. People who are just watching this on the second channel, I love you as well. Thank you for watching my videos. Massively appreciated. And yeah, new video out tomorrow on Thursday. It's pretty exciting. It involves, oh, you can't see it. It's going to involve, I'm telling you one, that stuff over there. That's just sitting around from the video. That's exciting, isn't it? Oh my goodness, what's going on there? Oh, once again, I did something and I made a silly mistake that I only realized when I was about to film. So there you are, you can enjoy that. So that's it, Matt out. Thanks for being involved. I will see you all next time. Oh, what's the last comment here? 52 Parker shuffles in a row.